So I just want to say good afternoon and welcome to the International Association of Emergency Managers webinar for the Poster Showcase Tips for Success. My name is Dwayne Helians and I am the lead for the Poster Showcase and working through the Training and Education Committee with the Conference Committee on this valuable project.
So good afternoon. I'd also like to introduce myself. My name is Kathy Clark. I am currently in the role of co-chair of the Conference Committee and happy to assist with my colleague Dwayne. Julie?
Hello everybody, I'm Julie Husk and I am the Conference Manager for IAEM.
All right, so here's what we're going to expect for today. Everyone, you can use your chat box if you have questions. Julie's going to be monitoring those for us, and if we get to a point where we see your questions not going to be covered in an upcoming slide, we'll address it at the end of our Q&A today. So hopefully this webinar will put everybody's mind at ease, and we'll be able to answer any of your questions about the Poster Showcase and how to submit a poster for the Poster Showcase.
So what we're going to do is start with the Poster Showcase page, which is located on the IAEM Conference website. For those of you who want to look at it live, please go to the link above the screenshot, and you'll notice the arrows there. The purpose of the Poster Showcase presentation is to convey to a wide audience the significance of an individual's research project, practice, or general findings. And keep in mind the target audience for this information are practitioners and scholars in the emergency management community, as well as the general public. Now, the Poster Showcase is open to students, academics, and practitioners. IAEM recognizes much of the work happening across the industry does happen at an organizational level. Excuse me. However, the Poster Showcase is an opportunity to share the work of individuals, not your organization. Participants chosen to display their posters will receive certificates of participation that document credit towards the IAEM certification program under Professional Contribution, Category F, Speaking. So just as a reminder, the Poster Showcase call for abstracts will open in 1 week on Monday, March 23rd, and we encourage everyone here and listening to submit your abstracts. So I also just, again, want to reiterate before we move on to the next slide that the speaker pages are right underneath that arrow if you're looking at that on the website or the slides in front of you. Now in the previous slide, we had a screenshot from the website on the Poster Showcase page. Very quickly, here is the information from the speaker pages. This page shows all the benefits and responsibilities of being a participant in the Poster Showcase. The Poster Showcase guidance document is hyperlinked on this page and is a must-read. I want to emphasize must-read for participants. The document has all the requirements for being a participant in the Poster Showcase. So as we go through the remainder of our presentation, please jot down your questions in the chat box. We want to make sure we address your questions today or after the webinar. If questions pop up later on, please reach out to any one of us. Our contact information will be included at the end of the slides. Also know, we are here to help and really want to make this the most positive experience for you. So keep your pens handy as we review the program and the steps to submit an abstract. Who knows? Maybe a fabulous idea unrelated to COVID-19 might just pop into your head. Please write that down before we lose thought and move on to the whirlwind that we're all experiencing right now.
Thanks, Kathy. I thought everything was related to COVID-19, but it just maybe seems that way. So having said that, the Poster Showcase guidance document, which can be found on the speaker pages of the conference website, as was mentioned by Kathy, has everything you need in it. All the dates you need to know, the requirements for the abstract submission and poster content, on-site logistics, presentation information and details on the evaluation process, and receiving recognition. Between the webinar and the guidance document, hopefully we're going to cover everything that you need to know and all the usual questions, the questions we've gotten over these last few years. However, as Kathy has said, as Julie will say, as I want to remind you now, we're always available via email to answer any questions. So if right now there's something that you don't think of and you think of it later, please reach out to us and we'll be able to help you out via email. So this is our 4th year having the participants compete against a standard rather than each other. We did this a few years ago. We felt it was much better for the poster showcase to have a rubric in which both competitive and non-competitive divisions under the poster showcase can get basically graded against a rubric. And even that way, it allows for people to get the highest award, even if multiple people are at the highest level, which we expect all of you will be. So we're excited to see this event continue to grow and expand. We continue to attract more and more participants who are willing to share all their great research findings, projects, outcomes, and ideas with all of your colleagues and other conference attendees. So in our competitive division, our categories are student, whether undergrad or graduate level student, academic, or practitioner. Participants, remember, are competing against that standard in the rubric, which you will see in the details and in the guidance, making the competition completely fair and transparent. And hopefully this will help us lead to more collaborative sharing of great concepts and ideas, which is our ultimate goal here.
So if you are a student entering in the competitive division, we will require additional documentation when you submit your abstract. A letter from your academic institution showing enrollment in the 2019-2020 academic calendar year or a schedule of classes will need to be uploaded to the online submission form. If you're unable to provide this document, as a student, you will unfortunately not be able to participate in the competitive division as a student. You can, however, still participate as a practitioner if that's applicable to you in the competitive division, or we also have a non-competitive category as well.
As Julie said, now suppose you don't want to go through the competition, but you really have some exciting information that you want to share about your work, your agency, your jurisdiction, a project that you've worked on, a practice that you've seen and executed. Perhaps it's a working collaboration in a disaster operation. Whatever that is, we encourage you to submit an abstract for it by entering in the non-competitive division. This is the opportunity where you can share with your colleagues that project, that business practice, whatever it is that continues to further this discipline. Please note that this is not a commercial for marketing or selling anything. Again, one of our intended outcomes of this event is to share information with our colleagues.
New this year, as a participant in the poster showcase, you'll be submitting your abstract online directly to IAEM. The instructions will be in the speaker guidance. They're here on this slide here. As you can see, you do not need to be a member of IAEM to submit an abstract. You just need to create an account as it shows here. Again, these instructions will be in the guidance. So if you have any questions that you're going through, as Dwayne and Kathy said before, please feel free to reach out to us.
Now, once again, I realize this is a lot of details, and particularly we're giving you information through the fire hose today. So please remember that all of these information elements that are on your screen right now, and they're in the guidance document, these are the things that you will need to submit on your abstract. A heading, which is the title of the abstract, the name of the presenter, your affiliation, your address, your phone number, and a primary and alternate email address. You must also indicate which division you're going to participate in. The competitive division must indicate your selected category of a student, undergraduate or graduate, academic or practitioner. And as we've been just talking about, the non-competitive division, whether or not you participate in that. Now we have some limited characters here on the abstract and title length. So there's a maximum of 2,000 characters in your abstract. That does include the spaces. Your title has a maximum of 150 characters, and again, includes the spaces. The selection committee does reserve the right to edit the abstract if necessary, and please understand we're doing that for clarity, grammar, or proper usage. And also we're asking that the presentation theme must reflect research, experience, practice, or findings connected to emergency management or related fields. And then also you put on there your list of collaborators, an advisor or advisors, departments, and anyone assisting with this research. And then if you have funding sources with research, please identify that, and also an institutional review board, proof of regulatory committee approval if appropriate.
So the beauty of the webinar that we're presenting is, although as Kathy said, and as I'll repeat, we're giving you a lot of information here. Again, this is being recorded, and when we're all done, this recording will be sent to you by Julie. So if there's things that we're saying and you're not quite getting it down, you'll be able to review the recording later, and again, you'll be able to ask us a question. So this screenshot here is directly from the guidance. So everyone who is accepted will present a poster to the conference attendees for the competition. We need to make sure that we're following information, that we do it in a uniform manner. So you may have presented in other poster competitions and some of their respective formats, and ours is a little bit different organization, so we conduct our poster showcase a little differently. So we're very interested in what you have to share with the emergency management community, and what and how you choose to share it is also part of the message. So having said this, if this is your first time, or if you're not sure if you should submit, please submit. You know, we've gone from probably 6 to 8 posters a few years back to 30 to 40 posters. It's a great event. It's a great event for all of our attendees at the conference. It's a great opportunity for you to network, to share with your colleagues and other people in the profession what it is that you're doing that's out there so great. So we're available to help you through every step of this process if needed. If you look at the left side of the screen, it's the poster template. Please pay special attention to the header. The header is very important, that all posters have this information at the top. So you need the IAEM Twitter hashtag, you need your name, the title of your poster, and the category you're selecting to participate in. So it's important that you incorporate all the poster requirements listed in the image on the right as you develop your poster. So citations are very important to us. Someone in our audience might be thinking about developing a poster or doing some research based on some of the research that you've done with your project. And so having that citation is very important to show where your work was based, and so it might help others to even possibly collaborate with you. So your company, you know, might have documents that you're using or standard operating procedures, and if that's the case, you can certainly reference those materials too. So maybe a new document had to be developed, or perhaps the reference comes from a planning meeting. Whatever that is, wherever you're retrieving your information for your poster, please cite it there on the poster, so that when people are there looking at your poster, especially in the opportunities where you're not going to be present, because the posters will be there for several days, that people can get that information off of your poster. We want to make sure that everyone who has research or a best practice to share understands that this is a great outlet to share your work product. This is an opportunity to network, showcase, discuss your ideas with other professionals in emergency management. This can lead to either, again, additional research, or perhaps even developing a formal session for future years at the IAEM conference where you're actually presenting in a conference. Or again, it could lead to collaboration with somebody that you meet at the conference. It's really important that you understand that research is not a finite occurrence. Research will have questions to answer moving forward. It's important that your poster not only addresses your findings, but also points those in attendance towards what the future may look like for the research that you're conducting. So whether it's your own future research or possibly someone else reviewing your poster, or even some collaboration in the future. So make sure that you follow these simple guidelines as you're developing your poster.
The next aspect we'd like to focus on is what we call the coaching opportunity. And again, as you'll see on the screenshot, this is open to all participants. So after you're selected to present your poster at the IAEM Annual Conference, you will have an opportunity to consult with a coach who can provide feedback on poster development, on-site oral presentation skills, or answer questions in relation to the evaluation guidelines. It's very simple. All you have to do is contact Julie Husk, and the time frame for that is between June 1st and October 2nd of 2020. Again, I characterize this as an opportunity because we want to provide you with the best chance and most favorable situation to help present yourself and your work in the best light possible. We want to emphasize we are here to help and not dissuade anyone from participating, which is why we go to these great lengths to be helpful and offer this coaching if participants want it. Think about it as professional development, a chance to really practice or interact with someone who has your best outcome in mind and will give you some very specific guidance and help you through any questions that you have. You will also have plenty of time to incorporate the feedback prior to the conference and printing of your final poster. We send it to you by email, and you can always ask for clarification or more coaching if you need or want it. We understand and respect how important your poster is to you, and any feedback offered, as I mentioned, is designed to help you better your content, your formatting, or your overall presentation in general. And just again, a reminder, no logos of any kind. This should be your work, not the work of your team, your mentor, your colleagues, or your professors. We really look forward to receiving posters developed for the IAEM conference, reflecting our 2020 theme, IAEM 2020, Visioning the Future of Emergency Management.
So discussing the actual poster, it's important that your poster is 3 feet in height and 4 feet in width. You're going to try and balance the text, the images, the white space. Make sure that it's attention grabbing. Make sure, as you see on the posters there on the slide, how they're laid out. That does not mean they're all identical. You can certainly see just even with those 6 or so posters there that they are different, but at the same point, they have similar characteristics. Again, it needs to be readable from about 4 to 6 feet and error-free. Please take the time to make sure that you thoroughly go over your poster and make any corrections on errors. A lot of times I know people are working on posters and they read it and then they reread it and they might miss something. So after you do it, before you print it, please set it aside for a day or two and then go back and read it again to make sure you have no errors. So posters are expected to be, as Kathy said, developed specifically for the IAEM conference. Resources for developing a poster and examples of academic posters can be found in Appendix 1 of the guidance that we spoke about earlier.
All right, so there are many, we've talked about some of the dates already. There are a lot of logistics that go with the poster showcase, and I will be sending many reminders about upcoming deadlines, the next steps, as well as on-site logistical instructions as the event draws near, including where you're going to put your poster, the exact location, and how to do it. We try to locate the posters near the registration area of our EMEX or exhibit hall entrance. So it's a very high traffic area, so posters are highly visible to all attendees throughout the conference. All posters must be set up for display by Monday, November 16th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, as we're out in Long Beach, so hence that time zone. Participants in the competitive division must be present for the evaluation session on Tuesday, November 17th during the program breaks. Now, the exact time of that will be sent in an email as the conference draws near. All participants in both the competitive and non-competitive divisions must be available by their posters during the special poster presentation session on Wednesday morning, November 18th, during the program break to answer questions from attendees. Note, this is a change from last year to accommodate the growing size of our poster showcase.
All right, so we'll talk a little bit about the evaluation criteria, and I don't necessarily like the word of evaluation, but it's the reality, right? So we have a rubric, and here are the things on the rubric that you'll be scored against. Again, let me remind you that the purpose of our poster showcase is to convey to a very wide audience the significance of research projects, practices, general findings to both practitioners and scholars in emergency management, as well as to the general public. So please don't get, beside yourself about the evaluation process. What you see here on the screen is a rubric that the judges will use for this competition, so that there's no surprises to anybody. You can see what's on there. You'll see it in the poster guidance. Everyone gets judged with the same rubric by a team of judges made up of academics and practitioners. So we have judges that we give the rubric to, and they come out and they will evaluate it. Just in case there's a conflict of interest, to make sure that we have judges that are transparent and that they don't have some type of conflict. Prior to the competition, we try to get all the judges to let us know if there are people or universities that they've interacted with. Sometimes, however, we find out at the last minute, so we typically will have an extra judge or two standing by so that we can make sure that if we need to insert a judge in so that there's not a conflict of interest. We find that it's very, very important to us, and certainly to those that are in the poster showcase, that we don't have any conflicts, because we want it to be completely fair and unbiased. So participants in the competitive division must be present during the evaluation session, as has been mentioned. And as Julie mentioned, it is a change this year. We're trying to make it better for all those concerned, both the judges and the participants. The panel of evaluators will assess the poster showcase presentation of those electing to be in the competitive division on Tuesday during the program breaks. The exact time slot we will know once we know exactly how many posters we have to be evaluated. The presentation, again, should be attention-grabbing, encourage questions from the evaluators. A member of the judging panel will be serving as the timekeeper and will typically give you notice as you're presenting to keep you in that 3.5 to 4.5 minute mark when you're giving your presentation on your poster. You obviously know your research, and you should practice that and make sure that you practice your presentation that you're going to give to the judges. And then after you give your presentation, the judges will have time for questions concerning your research methods, the significance of the content for practicing emergency managers, anything controversial aspects of the findings, future directions for the research, and you'll have an additional 6 minutes to answer those. So it's approximately 10 minutes that you'll be in the evaluation process at the poster showcase.
So this is a screenshot from our poster guidance, and it has all the dates that we have talked about here in this webinar. The deadline date to be aware of, other than when we open the call on March 23rd, is the deadline when abstracts are due, which is April 24th at 11:59 Central Standard Time. IAEM will notify all participants of our selection by June 1st. And as Kathy mentioned earlier, between that June 1 date and October 2nd date, you may contact us to request a coach or mentor to provide feedback on your presentation or your poster. We are requiring participants to submit a final PDF image of their poster on October 9th. And the balance of the dates are on this screenshot here are for logistical on-site importance to you as a participant. So we're almost at the end of our webinar. If you've not already put any questions in the chat box, please send them in now.
All right, we want to thank you for joining us, and Julie will be looking at the chat box and reviewing any questions that might be in there. So I want to let you all know that we're here to help. You know, Julie, myself, there are mentors that we have, so that will help you with coaching while you're putting your presentation together. We've really added a lot to the guideline over the course of these years. So as people come up with questions, we've added. We're doing things that we think will help make this better each year, and it's gotten better each year. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. Again, the webinar has been recorded, and it'll be posted on the IAEM conference website, as well as Julie, when it's up and officially into a presentation, takes a little while for the recording to take hold. She'll send it out to all registered attendees of this webinar. Julie, any questions that we haven't answered?
I think we've covered this so well over the years that we have no questions as of right now.
How about in the studio audience? Any questions for any of us that you might have thought of as we were going through?
Okay, so we're popping in a couple now. So what is the link for the info on the poster session? So the link, I will put in instructions. It was on this slide. It's also in the guidance. Basically what you're going to do is log into IAEM.org and then go to your dashboard. And then once you're on there, at the bottom left side, there'll be a link, a hyperlink underneath that says speaker submissions, and you will click on that and that will take you to the online form. If you already have a record with IAEM, you attended the conference, you're a member, you did something for IAEM, you got a CEM or whatever it may be, your info from what is in our record with IAEM will automatically populate. So much of your let's say database information on you, your name and address, etc., will all populate there. If you want to change it, if it's not updated because you haven't been in there for a while, please update at that point in time, and then it will take you to the submission form and covering all those areas that Kathy was talking about on the call earlier. So next question, if ultimately selected, is the PDF so IAEM prints the posters, or do we need to bring a hard copy to the conference? When do you guys want to take that one?
Sure. So you're responsible for printing the poster, but what I recommend and what I've done in the past when I've had posters set up is that I typically will have them printed there just because it's a little easier. If you have the capability to print them at your school or at your business or at home, it's just a matter of getting one of those tubes to carry it on the plane if you're traveling by plane. But yeah, so you're responsible to have it printed, and whether you decide to print it in Long Beach or print it at home and bring it, that'll be up to you.
So another question, are there examples of posters on the website from past conferences?
I know there are examples of posters that we give you in the guidance. I don't know if they're on the website, to be honest.
Yeah, they are not on the website. There are 2 examples of posters in the guidance, but we don't have posters from past conferences on the website. So another question is, In regard to the abstract submission requirement, would the presentation be shared with every participant?
I think I need a little more information to understand that. The presentation piece is an on-site aspect of the poster showcase event. It's when the rating panel of judges go along and take a look at those respective posters that they are rating. That's where that presentation, the interaction happens between the poster showcase participant and the rating panel. We also ask at those various times that members who participate in this event are also by their presentation to engage attendees through the break session or as people come throughout. Those of you that may have not participated in this event recently, it's something that does draw a lot of attention, particularly before the EMEX opens up, or again in the morning when people are coming to grab their coffee or that type of thing. So I know I gave you more information than the original question, but the presentation is part and parcel of the poster showcase event. Dwayne, did you want to add anything further or clarify further?
No, I think you covered it well. Other questions, Julie?
Before we sign off, Julie, unless there's another question, I really want to encourage people. I have really seen this event grow and blossom, and the reason why has been on the participants and the feedback that we have received in the past 5, 6, 7 years. This has really grown, and also something I really would like to emphasize, because I have seen tremendous relationships, professional networking relationships, grow out of this event that start as someone who wants to participate in the event. They reach out, they get coaching and mentoring, and it becomes, as Dwayne, Dr. Hagelgans knows, it becomes an ongoing relationship, and it's just gratifying when we're all on site and those individuals that have gone back and forth on email getting that professional development assistance meet face to face and continue to grow that network, professional network, and have those relationships. So that's a key piece in addition to sharing your research and sharing your knowledge with your colleagues in this profession. It is about the relationships. So take that step out of a comfort zone, if that's what you're thinking about, and really get someone else's perspective to help you grow and shine on.
And as Kathy said, I've mentored the last 3-4 years, and every year I meet new poster presenters, and every year, we continue that relationship where I see them at the following years at conferences, or sometimes they'll email me during the course of a year when something comes up. And it's not just me as a mentor, but it's also the judges, and it's also the attendees. This is an opportunity, especially if you're fairly new to the profession, to really start that network and get to know people.
So at this time, I don't believe we have any other questions.
All right, so we'll give you our contact information. The most important of which is certainly Julie. But if you do have questions, you can certainly send them to all 3 of us or any one of us, because we are in pretty constant contact. We do really well at virtual world, which is the current state of the world. And so email us with any questions. If you think of something a minute from now or a day from now or a week from now, please reach out to us. Anything else to add, Kathy, Julie?
I think we covered it. I just want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy day and schedule to learn more about this event and encourage you to consider a submission. Thank you.
And I echo Kathy's words. Thank you all for joining us today.
All right, everybody have a great rest of your day and a great week, and we'll see you all in Long Beach.